Welcome back to the Anime Safe Space podcast. We're on episode 37, I think. I should probably check these and open it up before I start these introductions, shouldn't I?
It's definitely 37.
It has to be 36. We're on episode 38 this week.
No. 37 never happened.
Yeah, 37 never happened.
On the YouTube.
Well,
right.
Nothing in the 30s has even been uploaded to the YouTube yet. So.
Oh my god, dude.
It will happen soon.
Sounds fantastic.
Now soon, and in Kazu time, that could be a while. I've been saying I'm gonna upload since like April, and I've uploaded one episode.
Hey, you did something.
I did something. Hey, I'm putting in more effort.
You made an attempt.
Look, I'm putting in more effort than Bones has been doing for the My Hero adaptation, Jake.
Yes. This adaptation. I think the reason, the big reason, is because they're trying to line it up with the movie.
Well, that's not. It's not thinking the reason. That is the reason, because apparently this takes place, even though it's not canon. It takes place during and after Endeavor Agency, which is
entirely stupid for the actual chronological order of My Hero, which is I hate the movie. Like, the movies are great, don't get me wrong. Like, the first one, it's alright. The second one was a banger. But this third one, just because of what's happening, coinciding with the anime, is kind of bad right now for me right now.
See, I was going to say, this is probably a side effect. I know we were talking about how good, or how much we're loving anime movies coming out and it being, sequels and stuff, but I think this is a side effect of anime movie success, because now a lot of studios are going to start prioritizing the movie adaptations rather than the anime adaptations. And a lot of the time, they're not canon. Unless it's the Demon Slayer Made in Abyss movies and stuff, they're not going to be canon. The My Hero ones aren't canon, Dragon Ball, unless they do their stupid shit like they did with Resurrection F and the others. At least right now, those movies technically aren't canon. So it's just wasting time on things that don't matter. And it's you should be putting all of your guns into the anime, and then when you're on your off time or in between seasons, then you can put out the movies. I don't understand why they're putting out this movie in the middle of My Villain Academia, which is the best arc. A lot of people were anticipating this arc, and it's the most important arc in the series thus far. But no, they want to do Endeavor Agency first, which is going to take about 3 or 4 episodes, which means they're going to do 22 chapters worth of content in 7 episodes, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's really, I think what they should have done with the movies, because every time the season ends, there's always a big, not a big leap of time where nothing's really happening in the My Hero. That's where they should put the movie, because that kind of fuels that appetite for more My Hero, and it lets people go on until the next season instead of doing it right smack dab during the season. Because even just looking at it from a work perspective, you're doing pretty much double the work right now, and that must suck.
Yeah. You're not caught up with the anime, right, Tel?
No, I am not.
But, you did read the manga. Like I said, something you,
Yeah.
me, and Jake, and everybody else probably listening have been really waiting for is My Villain Academia, and it's just frustrating that it's taking so long. And they've been good about the adaptation up until this point, so it just doesn't make too much sense to me. From what I understand and know, and maybe this is just speculation, but it would make sense. The Japan audience doesn't like My Villain Academia, so they are trying to get all the hero arcs out first, just so they don't lose the Japanese interest. And I believe it, because you remember when they killed off Goku and tried to make Gohan the main character, Japan threw the biggest hissy fit ever. And that's the main reason why Goku's back now, and then Dragon Ball went on way longer than it should have. Which, I like Dragon Ball, but I'm just saying that it was never intended to go past this point.
No, it wasn't. But look at what it's doing now with the new Broly movie.
Yeah, like I said,
movie that's going to be coming out.
Don't get me wrong. I love Dragon Ball, and maybe their bitching led to, Super and the stuff being created. It is just they can't really accept change, and they can't accept an arc that doesn't have Deku or the good guys as the main focus, which, I'm not trying to call the Japanese fan base crybabies or anything like that. It's just their view.
Crybabies.
They're crybaby bitch boys, yes. But it's just their perspective towards characters, and their attachments to these main characters is stronger than us in the West. I'm okay with going up multiple chapters without the main character appearing, because it's allowing for the story to progress and more shit and more consequences for the character when they come back. to overcome. So I think it's cool that the villains get a central focus because it makes the things Deku's gonna have to do when it goes back to him even crazier. And sure enough, they do happen in the manga.
Yeah, but I'm gonna like, cause I've been seeing a lot of like counterpoints to this, like right, like cause a lot of people there's like, it's not really half and half, I would say, but a lot of people are saying like, ending this season, right? Would you rather end with EA, or the ending or My Villain?
I would end
even
with,
though chronological, like it doesn't make sense. But like think about the ending of MVA, and think about the ending of EA Endeavor Agency. What would you rather end on? A bang or just like
Endeavor Agency.
It leads up to the.
I would still end on
Would you?
Endeavor Agency. Yes. I'm fine. Like again, with like storytelling and stuff like that, it's rising action into the climax and falling action. Endeavor Agency would be the falling. It's a nice breathing room. It allows for something to happen. I'm aware last season it ended with the Pro Hero arc, ended with that banger ass Endeavor moment. You can do things like that, but then prior to that, the other My Hero seasons, they would end mostly calm. They would have like a big episode before that, and then the final episode is just them getting exposition into the next season. And I've always been fine with that. That's kind of how the transition episodes should be. And on top of that, I know you're saying to leave the context of Endeavor Agency out, but a lot of important things happen with that. The meeting, if I'm remembering correctly, that is when they show what Hawks did, quote unquote, to Best Jeanist, right? Or is that during MVA?
I think it's during MVA.
Okay.
Regardless,
Regardless, there's
still
still stuff involving Hawks, and like I think showing Hawks before MVA is not gonna have like this greater impact, because when you see Hawks after like the stuff he did during My Villain, you're just like, oh, what the fuck is this guy's motives? Like, he's helping Endeavor, but then he's also helping them. He apparently killed this guy, but then he's also like, it's just, it makes it all the more interesting, like the Hawk stuff. Obviously, we know how that turns out in the manga, but I think for an anime watcher, that'd be so cool. And now it's just gonna kind of be like, it's just weird. There's so much stuff that they give you in My Villain, and then they transition into Endeavor Agency. They answer those questions, or at least pose those questions, and then you get into the war arc. Now, I'm fine, I guess, because like you're saying, this will end the season with a bang. That's just also crossing your fingers and hoping that Bones gives My Villain a good adaptation, because I'll be honest, I wasn't that impressed with joint training. I enjoyed it. I did say like I enjoyed it, but I'm talking about from like animation standpoint and all of that. It didn't like blow me away.
I go away from that. I think it was good for a training arc. I mean, it's not supposed to be like, they're not supposed to be like hype moments. I mean, the Black Whip being one of them. It was the best training arc in the series, but like it's not blowing away, but it was still pretty good.
Well, I mean, the animation in this training arc compared to the others, because I do like this training arc a lot, like I said, compared to the other ones. But like the only moments I think I really were just like, goddamn, that was cool, was Tetsu versus Todoroki, and then Ida when he's doing Ida things. I liked how they animated him. Other than that, I was just like, yeah, it's just basic fights. They even like cut corners on some of the areas, and regardless, I'm hoping that's because they are putting all their guns into My Villain, but at the same time, it seems like they don't care about My Villain Academia, so we'll see. I don't want to be too pessimistic.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll just see, because I mean they've been doing good so far, so we'll just have to see, because we can't really say anything so far, because they still haven't shown anything from My Villain, even in the trailer.
Yeah, they still haven't shown anything.
They only showed Redacto.
Yeah,
they only showed
you mean Redestro?
Redacto once. Redestro. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm thinking of Redacted. Alright, I'm thinking about zombie Easter eggs right now.
Redacto,
dude.
Yeah, it's like somebody said something like that resonated with me on Twitter, like, and that I agree with. They're like, it sucks because my interest is at an all-time high on the My Hero manga, but then in the anime, it's at an all-time low. I genuinely don't give a shit for what's going on right now, because I just want My Villain, and they're stalling. And I like Endeavor Agency, but it's just like, I don't want to sit through this. I've been waiting for My Villain for over a year now, and it's just frustrating. Because yeah, the manga, which I did catch up on today, it is fantastic. It's the best it's ever been. Obviously, it's been on like a really good trend since My Villain, actually, and it just hasn't stopped. And honestly, I think it's just been getting better and better. I still think My Villain's the best arc, but if they do this arc right, it could be on par or even better. Because Deku, I really enjoy Deku right now.
Deku's personality has taken a good solid 180. and I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer the character, not even from the war arc. He's literally changed his whole personality and the things he wants to protect, all that kind of stuff, the hero stuff, right? And he's twisting it around, and like even with the new chapter, Stain coming out, and you're seeing some crossover between the two.
Yeah, some parallels between them. I don't even know what they're gonna fight. Yeah, because I mean, Stain, albeit he's a bad guy, he never posed himself as like a villain. He treats himself as the judge, jury, and executioner. Yeah, he's a vigilante. That's why he's in Vigilante. So you guys should read it.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. That's how we go. That's how we bring the two together.
Which, speaking of which, they even brought up vigilantes in the last chapter of My Hero. They were talking about the vigilante lifestyle, which is why I do think that Koichi and them should appear pretty soon in the manga, because they can play a big role. Considering licenses and heroes don't really matter, they could use vigilantes, which Koichi and Knuckle Duster would be very big helps for that.
Especially right now.
Yeah, especially right now.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see the stuff with My Hero. With My Villain, it's probably going to take another 3 weeks. Yeah. So we'll see. Probably in that time, that's what we'll talk about the intro. Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
Well, My Hero's adaptation hasn't been the best, but at least it's not Record of Ragnarok.
Yes.
Yeah.
You remember how, like, a long time ago I was telling you guys, read the manga, it's freaking great. It's just battles, and it's fun. And I see the anime come out. I'm like, okay. It didn't really show a lot of, like, action. But I'm like, okay, that's fine. Maybe they're going to do for a trailer, too. And I saw, like, the studio behind it. They did, like, some episodes of, like, Hellsing, Ultimate, that kind of thing. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. And, like, those were, like, good episodes. So I'm like, I have some faith, right? Come June 15th, or June 17th, I forget when it was. I look at it. I shit you not. It looks like a fucking Microsoft PowerPoint.
Hey, that's insulting Microsoft PowerPoints, Jake.
Well, they're doing a good job. Am I wrong?
What, doing a good job of
it's utilizing a damn good PowerPoint, man.
Yeah, I guess it's a damn good PowerPoint.
It's a damn good PowerPoint.
It could be a PowerPoint, or it could have been a Prezi, Jake. So I still think it could have gone any further. So
no,
it's not getting good marks.
You already know with Prezi, they zoom in and out. They don't shake the screen.
That's true.
Prezi got more animation. I'm sorry, but yeah, I like a lot of the stuff about the anime. I watched 2 episodes. I'm probably not going to watch the rest. I'm probably going to put in the drop. I think, like, for just a battle manga, especially this kind of tournament style, where the fights are pretty much the most important part, and they failed to do that, to me it just looks like a cash grab, because it's one of, like, the top 10 or 15 selling mangas for, like, the past couple months.
It's top 15.
So, top 15, yeah. So, to me, it just seems like a cash grab. And they cut a lot of corners. Like, don't get me wrong. Art style looks good. All that stuff. It's just, if they just fix the animation for the battles, it would be like a really good adaptation. But it wasn't. The battles, PowerPoint, dude. Like, I don't get why they're repping Microsoft.
So, did you...
You know what it really gave me vibes of? The later Seven Deadly Sins seasons.
Oh no, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about those, dude.
No, I don't want to get into Seven Deadly Sins, but I'm just saying, like, did it not give off those same vibes? Like, massive battles that had great potential, and then it's not.
They're not battles, dude. They're just. I don't even want to talk about this no more. You guys can go ahead.
Well, I haven't watched it. I like I said, I just watched the Zeus and Adam fight, which is way later in the anime, so you haven't even seen it, Jake, unless you saw the clip, which I think is hilarious.
I saw the clip where it's literally just a panel and a panel, and they just keep switching panels.
Well, and I just want to ask, I've only seen that clip from it. Are the other fights like that? I'm not sure how they animate the fights, but if they did Zeus versus Adam like that, tell how do they do the fights? Because you at least made it to episode 4 and saw Sojiro.
Episode 4? No, Sojiro's at the very end, dude.
Did you watch all of it? Oh, that's right. Shit, you did watch all of it. Yeah, that's right.
Dude, 12 episodes. Yeah, it should seem.
Yeah, it would end on Sojiro. Yeah, Jesus
it was
Christ.
about 4 episodes per fight. They only did 3 fights, And yeah, honestly, each of the fights was pretty much PowerPoints. I mean, they never did fluid action. They never did fluid fighting. It was just a blurred fist, going towards them, and then cut to the next drop of him dodging it, and that was it. That's all it was for everything. So
yeah, it's such a shame. Like, I mean, I haven't read all of it. I've only read up to Sojiro and haven't even finished the fight. I know who wins, but it's such a shame because the fights in the manga were great, and it's just like so sad. Like, anytime you're reading a fight in a manga, you like imagine how good it would look in the anime. Like, you can't wait for when it gets adapted, because then you can only elevate from it. If you do it well, then you're just elevating the source material, because it's a fight. It relies on motion, it relies on fluidity. But this is one of the rare cases where you're like, God damn, how does the manga express motion better than the anime that, is supposed to be using motion?
yeah.
So it literally looked like a fan-made YouTube video.
It honestly kind of did, yeah.
And I've seen fan-made ones that are better than that.
Dude, yeah, I've seen some of the fan-made Record Ragnarok videos, and like, Jesus Christ, they put way more effort into those than whatever studio made this.
Yeah, but I'm actually glad, because there's the fourth fight with Jack the Ripper. Like, spoiler, sorry. It's one of my favorite fights in that series. So, if they do a season 2, I hope to God they do better and like take like way more than like a year, probably a year and a half, because apparently they need more time than that. If they animate their Jack the Ripper fight the way I want it to be animated, it'll be golden. That I will forgive its I won't forgive it that much, but I mean, I'll forgive it a bit.
Enough to watch it.
Enough to watch it again, right? Because Zeus versus Adam was one of the hypest fights I've seen. And then Jack the Ripper being the fourth fight right now, and I believe right now we're on the sixth fight, chapter 47 in the manga right now, unless it's 48 and I haven't read it. Yeah, because we got spoilers again. The latest fight for Record of Ragnarok is Buddha versus the 7 gods of fortune for right now, and they fuse into one. And that's the battle right now, and it's lit. It's lit right now. That's all I
they're
gotta
doing
say.
some Dragon Ball fusions as humans.
Yeah, they go into the lore. I suggest you read it. Like I said many months ago, you gotta read Record of Ragnarok, because it's so good.
Yeah, I had like binged up till Sojiro, and then I just stopped for a while. I will eventually pick it back up, maybe soon, since I was kind of waiting for the anime so I can like watch up to the Sojiro part or see the fights that I had read. So I'd be like, oh, that's cool. I read what the anime content was, but now I'm not touching the fucking anime with a 50-foot pole. But the opening is a banger, and everybody that thinks it's bad, you guys suck. Maximum the Hormone is great.
Okay, let's get this out the way. The song's good.
Song is fantastic.
Opening
The actual opening, yes,
is a different
it's bad.
story.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's a different
As
story.
an opening,
It's a different story.
I would give it a 5 out of 10, and that's because the song just carries it completely. The opening itself is just, it's a slideshow. What can I say?
Yeah.
It really doesn't fit it. But yeah. I mean, that's Record Ragnarok is just
the ending is the ending is really good though. I actually really like it.
Yeah, I didn't finish all of it, but speaking of openings, I mean, this is slightly off topic. Man with a Mission is doing the second My Hero opening, so looking forward to that.
Yes. I think there was a snippet in the trailer.
They did have a snippet. I had my volume off when I was watching the trailer, though, so I didn't listen to it.
I did too. I'll probably watch it right after this. I'll pull it up. I'll see how it is, because I actually do like Man with a Mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did the Superior Vinland Saga opening.
I mean, to be fair, they're both very good. So I mean,
both being very good is debatable. Well, I can't even shit on the first one. I'm just not as in love with it as everybody else.
You just don't like it that much, and I know your type of music, so I'm not really going to argue with you.
Yeah, well, it's a good opening, but I mean that's besides the point. But all of these failed adaptations, like Way of the House Husband and like Record of Ragnarok, and obviously the webtoons, and then a lot of these anime like or Promised Neverland, obviously the biggest one here, and My Hero cutting corners or rearranging stuff for no reason, is giving me slight worry, but I still have very high hopes for Chainsaw Man, which we get a preview for next week. Which, since we record on Saturdays or Sundays, typically, we might be talking about it next week because we'll probably see the content. And actually, we probably will be talking about it next week because, regardless of which day we record, Japan's 15 hours ahead of us. So we'll see.
You know what we should do? We should live react to it on the podcast.
Live react, maybe.
That actually might be good.
I mean, I would probably get too like eager to watch it like when it drops though.
Well, when it drops, we probably would we'll try to schedule around it. I think that would be good.
Yeah.
Because we'll get like our first impressions, right?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? We'll figure that out.
We'll
I'm just very excited for it. A lot of people are still like bitching to like if CGI is in Chainsaw Man, they're like not gonna watch it. But I was like, you got to look at the designs in there and look at the fights and understand that CGI is unavoidable. It's just a matter if they mesh it well or do it well. To my understanding, Dodo Hedzido had a lot of CGI and it worked very well. So I'm confident it'll work.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man has a very rough art style, and especially with all the animators that want to work on it, that are probably working on it right now, there's like a little chance that it will flop, even if it does have CG, which I'm expecting CGI. I'm expecting it.
It's gonna be one. It's Mappa. Mappa loves CGI.
But they do a good job. They do a good
obviously
job.
With Attack on Titan, they didn't have to necessarily use CG for the Titans because they did hand draw them a lot of times. They chose to though. So and Punchline they use CG. I know it's time constraints, but they use Dodo Hedzido CG for aesthetic purposes. Again, so they just Yuri on Ice. I mean that was more rotoscoping, but they do have CG and stuff. It's just they, at least from the studios I've observed, they use CG the most. Obviously not compared to Orange, since Orange is all CG, but yeah.
Orange or Ufotable.
Which Ufotable does do good CG, but that's also because they use goddamn space engines and all the top of the line equipment. They throw trillions of dollars into the anime.
Yep, and they don't pay their taxes.
And they do not pay their taxes, apparently.
Yes. And I mean, we got Demon Slayer, so I'm not mad.
Hey, they can evade the taxes all they want if they pump out good content like that. And, and speaking of, I don't know why I'm saying speaking of which, I think I was just thinking of the movie, but Tell, you're a Saga of the Tanya the Evil fan, and that got a second season announced.
Yeah,
but
it did.
Didn't you say you dislike the anime, or do you dislike the manga?
No, I dislike I kind of dislike the anime and the manga, honestly. The source content the source content originally was the light novels, and that's what I'm reading. The anime doesn't even follow the light novel, or the manga doesn't even follow the light novel. There's a lot of shit in there that was wrong. Wasn't a huge fan. Anime, it goes off of the manga and skews the manga even worse. So I don't know. There's not a lot of backstory in it. Saga of the Tanya Evil has a lot of backstory of what Tanya is thinking throughout it, because it's like a constant inner battle that she's having. You don't see any of that in the manga or the anime. So it takes a lot of the lore off of it, I guess. Yeah. So not a big fan of either the manga or the anime, but it's good that it's getting attention. I like that it's getting attention at least. So if anybody out there enjoyed the manga or the anime, I would suggest try to read the light novel. Way better, way more backstory. You have a lot better idea of what's going on in the world than in any of the other two. So highly suggest.
Yeah, I think I mentioned weeks ago that Kadokawa is making or acquiring a bunch of new licenses, and they promised 20 to 40 new shows within the next year. So obviously Saga of Tanya the Evil is one of those. It's an isekai. It kind of doesn't surprise me that it was getting a second season because, again, isekai is top priority with all of them. That's why Overlord's getting another season. ReZero is for sure going to get another season. There was another isekai that I'm trying to remember that got announced, but things like that. Obviously, Kadokawa is giving priority to those. And I've been meaning to check out Tanya. You dislike the anime. I do hear that comment from some people, but maybe I'll check out the light novels first. Maybe I don't read much light novels, but maybe that'll be one of the ones I check out.
I would say at least read the first one, and then you can go and like read the manga, see if you care about the changes or not. That's what I would suggest. And if you don't care as much, then you can just read the manga instead.
Well, the weird thing is
the manga is at least a little bit closer.
Yeah, the weird thing is with like manga adaptations, like at least of light novels, they're never really the best. The only one that I can think of that people praise is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Like that's held as like the best one. The ReZero one is considered not very great, or at least not as good as a light novel or a web novel. But other than that, yeah, a lot of the times the adaptation is because they'll take liberties or they don't want to be like exactly like the anime. I think the example of something that diverges and doesn't want to be like the anime or the light novel is the Monogatari manga, and that's because it's just basically almost like action oriented but also keeps the same vibe, and I think that manga does it perfectly. So, but again, I don't read much light novels. I've been meaning to, though. I own a bunch, so maybe I'll check out Tanya. Like I said, I'll probably buy the first volume and check it out. I do like that whole aesthetic of literally just lolly Hitler in magic world hates God. And it's just like, it seems like a very interesting premise.
It is a very interesting premise. There's a lot of times where I have to put it down and be like, what the fuck am I reading right now? But it's worth it. 30 minutes later, I'm picking it back up and I can't stop reading it again.
I was waiting for Jake to give some input, but, he's not contributing like usual.
Just
kidding.
I mean, like, what am I going to say? What am I going to say about
there's
Tanya
nothing
the
to
Evil,
contribute.
dude? I have nothing to contribute.
All right, speaking of contributing, we are recording this on Father's Day today. And Father's Day has passed for all of you listening by now. But in honor of Father's Day, what is your favorite anime dad?
I'm gonna have to think on this, honestly. I'm trying to think of like favorite characters I have that are dads, but like
I'm gonna go ahead and take the easy one and the best one because
I already know what you're gonna say.
I brought it up. But Papa Shirogane.
Oh, okay, no. I thought you were gonna go with the Reddit joke. I thought you were gonna go with the Reddit joke of Show Tucker best dad.
No.
Okay.
Damn, dude, you stole
Papa
my joke,
Shirogane, dude.
I love Shirogane, man. I love
He's
him so
literally the best anime dad that I've ever watched, read, seen, anything. He's amazing.
Yeah, and you already read the VTuber arc, right? Or not? It's not really an arc, but
yes.
You saw him become a VTuber, yeah.
Yes, I did read that. That was fantastic.
Yeah, man, I love him. I love Papa Shirogane so much. I'm trying to think of like dads.
I know, that's what I'm trying to.
Like I have a lot of like dad role model. I think that's what you're gonna say. Like
yeah, role models that like you would think would be dads, but they're not dads.
Oh, I got a good one actually. I got a good one. I got a great one actually. Umibozu from Gintama. I love him so much. He is such a good character.
I was literally about to think about Gintama.
I figured you were gonna say Gintoki since he's a father figure to Kagura, but like
I know I'm not. Well,
it's cheating.
Not really a father.
Yeah, I know.
It's more like a brotherly figure.
Well, he's more like a father to Kagura and a brother to Shinpachi, but at least the way I see it, and I think that's kind of what they imply in the show. But anyways, with Umibozu, he's just he's labeled as the strongest character in the show. Obviously outside of who, Jake. Not gonna give spoilers for the people that haven't watched Gintama.
You could say his name.
Jake.
No one will know.
I get okay. Next to Utsudo, because not like if you haven't watched Gintama or haven't even caught up to that point, you're not gonna know who that is.
The second you find out the name, you find out who the character is, pretty much. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So next to Utsudo, obviously, which understandably so, but Umibozu can destroy any character in the show. He's the strongest of. Oh God, I'm forgetting the name of Kagura's race, but of those people, the Umbrella, the Saiyan ripoffs, basically. And he's just funny. I love his jokes. I love that he's like this strong ass dude, but he walks around with basically a Hitler stash and he's bald. And
he's balding. All right.
Well, he's balding. Sorry, he walks around with a toupee.
Yeah.
He's like the butt of a lot of jokes, but then he can also turn around and fuck your shit up. So it's just I like him like that. He's really good.
Damn, dude. Like I could think of one other person, but I don't think it would be like my favorite. It would be like Joseph. That would be it. Joseph Joestar.
Oh, okay.
Because like I could think about like father figures, but not like actual fathers.
Didn't you watch? Well, I mean, not saying this would be your favorite, but you watched Kakashi Goto, right?
I did see that. I mean, he's a great dad. Would he be my favorite though? I don't know. I wouldn't say.
Well, I mean, there's another great one actually. Just to throw
You
in
want to
here.
like if you want to say like father figures too. What was it from Mob?
Reagan, yes, that
Reagan.
definitely counts.
Yeah,
That counts.
Reagan. Yes.
That would count.
Yeah.
Okay, that will count. You will count that. Okay. Reagan's probably my favorite. My favorite, just from thinking.
Well, not only is he dad, he's daddy, dude. Like I love that man.
Oh.
But,
yeah, Reagan has the Reagan arc. You can tell he cares for Mob, always looking out for him, teaching him ways, teaching him how to use his powers not only for bad, but to help other people, even though he's a con man.
Yeah.
It's such a good character.
It's a great dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're forgetting the one from Food Wars. I am forgetting his name, but I love that dad. He's so good. I love him.
Soma's dad?
Yeah,
He's hot. What do you mean?
he's a Chad. I know. I love him.
He's a Chad.
Oh,
To be fair,
Joichiro.
I
There we
haven't
go.
watched. I
Yeah.
still haven't seen the rest of the fourth season. So
Neither have I. And I guess my last one, just to round it out, probably Papa Subaru from ReZero. Even though he only had like 2 episodes, I really liked his impact on the series.
That's fair.
What were you
I
saying,
think
Jake?
that's pretty
much it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
no, I said that's pretty much it for me. I'm like looking through my list right now.
Yeah, I can't find many. Like, so I mean,
oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me get this out of the way. Goku's the. Oh no, sorry. Piccolo's the best dad.
he
Sorry.
is definitely the best dad.
Yeah.
I love that man.
Just had to get that out there.
I was gonna say, anytime we ask these questions, I always like realize that I'm realizing my preferences towards shows, which is why I do like these questions. It's like I'm realizing that I don't put a lot of focus into like the parent type characters. I mean, unless it's the protagonist, of course, but I put a lot of attention into the protagonist, antagonist, and I'm trying to figure out a way to describe it. But I mean, I guess I wouldn't necessarily call them the deuteragonist, but like they become a protagonist for a specific arc, and that's the characters I typically always like. Like Kaiki, he becomes a protagonist for his own story. Shigaraki becomes the protagonist of MVA. I like when they do things like that. And those are the kind of characters I pay attention to. But like when it's a father figure or like parent type or family members, I'm like, eh.
You just brush them off.
Well, sorry, fuck. I just remembered one. Even though he's a bad dad, but he's atoning. He's making up for Endeavor.
Oh yeah, Endeavor.
He's such a fantastic character. He's one of my favorite characters. He's easily the best in My Hero. I was saying twice before, but I caught up today on the manga. I teared up a bit with Endeavor like struggling so hard just to like apologize for what he's done, and it's just like, yeah, you could really tell like how bad he feels about how he fucked up, but they all take on the sins with him so they can move forward, and it's great. I love Endeavor.
The family man we all need.
He's so good. He's a Chad.
Such a great character.
Yep.
His redemption arc is still going on pretty much right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's
basically.
about
I
it.
mean, the whole story of him is just one big redemption arc. I don't think he'll be atoned for a while, and that's kind of like the whole point. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so far. All right, I think that we're out of topics.
well, I was gonna say. I mean, we're not out of topics yet. I was gonna say Delto, our usual corner that we do, the alcoholic safe space.
I shall sit
Oh
back.
yeah.
I don't know if you have alcohol with you.
Yes, I do. I went out and bought a 6-pack just for it today, and I was going and I was gonna get something safe, a safe IPA that I know tastes good that I've had before, but I haven't done on the pod. But then next to those types of IPAs, I found this little guy, and his name is the Evil Dangster IPA.
The fuck is that?
From I don't know. It's from Tubbs Brewing Company in Texas here. So I've never heard of this before, but the name of it was alone enough that I had to go try it. Literally Evil Dangster. And I'm enjoying it. It sounds like it's going to be really hoppy, but it's really not. It's got the perfect amount of hop, and it tastes really good. It's got a little bit of like some fruity back taste for it. Give it a solid 8 out of 10 on the ass scale.
Nice. Well,
that I am slowly building.
I'm a basic ass bitch again. I do have actual beers and IPAs downstairs, but I've just been in a sweet phase recently and just trying to get a bunch of different ciders. I'm just drinking another basic, just from the Santa Fe Brewing Company here. Just the regular apple hard cider. It's good. Has a nice little sweet kick to it. It's not too sweet. Have you had the Sandia ones out here, Till?
No.
Yeah.
Is that brewing company that came up by the interstate recently?
I'm not sure. Sandia, they only just make ciders. I'm not sure if they have like an actual one by.
Oh, okay, then no. I haven't had anything from Sandia. Then I don't drink ciders very often.
I love Sandia. They have one of my favorite like ciders, but then like their other flavors, they are just a little too sweet. But what I like about this one is just like it's a perfect nice blend. It's just a nice taste of apple. So on that scale, I'll just give it like an 8 out of 10.
On the basic white bitch alcohol scale.
Yep. I'll drink something crazier next week. I mean, I had a social hour sitting here, so.
Yeah, you got to get into the IPAs, man.
Yeah, I'll get into them eventually.
Or you can get into pills if you want, Pilsners.
I thought you were trying to
Those
say
are
like
just
we're
as
popping
good.
pills on the pod. I was like, all right, dude, what the hell?
No, that's why I had to go through again and say Pilsners, because I knew that you wouldn't know what that is.
Well, no, I mean I've seen them, but
Have you had one before?
probably not knowingly, but yeah, not knowingly, I guess. I haven't ordered
Yeah,
one myself.
That's fair. You might be a fan. I don't know.
Well, that is the Alcoholic Safe Space Corner. I knew we were going to run out of topics, so I already went ahead and asked some questions from the Ask Podcast Twitter. Again, you guys can run on over to twitter.com/AskPodcast or Anime Safe Space and tweet us questions, suggestions, or DM us things that you'd want to tell us. And today we have from @NicoMiaMina. And they ask, are y'all going to talk hentai again? And I mean,
I'll be honest. I haven't watched a lot recently.
Yeah,
and
like
I think I should.
it gets in the
Nah.
views. Yeah, we are very aware it gets in the views, it gets interest, but it's also like we just hit a dead end when we talk about it. Because, I mean, we all make a lot of like the ha horny jokes and like anime girls are hot, but like aside from that, we don't really watch or read a lot. Or if we do, I just like skim through. I'm like, I'll see like a code on Twitter. I don't have nice art. I'll go and hentai, throw it in. I'll be like, oh, okay, that art was nice, and then I'd just close it out. I would forget what the name is. I'd forget what the code is. So,
But you do remember the characters.
do remember the characters. So, I mean, we can talk about it eventually, I guess, at some point. No promises, but I mean, just we're not planning on like a hentai-oriented episode. But we will still clickbait the fuck out of you guys with the hentai.
Oh, hell.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
hell yeah.
definitely.
Oh, we want all the clicks right now.
And the second one is semi-related. This comes from @FatPandaman916. Thank you, Fat Panda Man. They ask, what is your top 10 ecchi? Can't believe it's not hentai anime. Which we don't have to do top 10. We can just say like favorite. But
Coming off the top of my head, Why the Hell Are You Here, Sensei? I think is a pretty funny show. Not gonna lie.
the manga is
Yeah.
great.
I mean, the manga was great. It still is great. I don't know what you mean.
Well, I just said it was because I haven't read it in like 2 years. But
Same, but I mean, still.
well, Manga Sensei, getting that plug in.
Definitely. What I mean,
Get that plug.
I feel like I don't even have to say it.
No, we just know it. I mean, ironically, again, we've always got to mention, I think Manga Sensei is actually good, but there are moments where I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Like with the character coming up and just talking about like how all, you know, what are the middle schoolers love dick. I was like, all right, chill out there, dude.
Hey, what do you mean, dude? She's right.
Whoa, all right. Well, you want to tell us something, Jake?
Back in middle school, all right?
Do you still want to
Oh,
tell us
boy.
something?
Don't worry about it, all right? Back in middle school. That's all you gotta know.
Very nice.
Back in middle school. All right. Yeah. Well, for me, I don't know. I'd probably have to go with High School DxD. I've watched it all the way through and thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think that's the only one I've watched or read all the way through, actually. So
I genuinely forgot that you've seen that.
yeah, that
watch
was back in the early days, back when I was with you guys in Albuquerque.
Casually doxing us, all right.
We've mentioned every single fucking time, dude.
Dude, don't worry. Dude.
Yeah,
not
we've said
everyone
it all
watches
the
the whole
time.
pod, dude.
That's true. They're gonna somehow skip to this just part for some reason.
Part, and they're gonna start looking for us.
Back in New Mexico.
Yes, to be fair, we do live in Mexico. We live in Juarez.
Yeah, I have to edit out the gunshots in the background of the pod every episode. Well, I did only ask the questions on Twitter like 5-10 minutes ago, so those are the only ones for now. We can just talk about something else.
Hey, what about
anytime
last week? What about last week?
Oh, I can see somebody asked something from last week. You're right. We do like
Lay it
answering the
on.
carryovers.
We do like reusing ideas. All right.
I
We're
did
really
forget
good at
that
what we do.
I forgot that we asked favorite protagonists because a little sneak peek for you guys. We are going to be doing the main protagonist tier list pretty soon. Once we get it organized, we want to make it something cool and special. So,
And cool and special as in we actually put effort in it. So
yeah,
Yeah.
make it organized. Make it. Maybe I'll add some nice little effects to it. But
Maybe think about it beforehand a little bit.
yeah. Well, here's a question from last week from @ChildishChen. They ask, "Do any of you have a girlfriend?"
now about that. So me and Ethan have been dating for about 15 years. If that answers your question.
Only 15. I don't think we even knew each other for 15 years. No, we haven't. Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, we haven't. But still, we were always destined to be together.
Oh shit, we
You're soulmates.
Yo, we actually got a bunch of questions from last week. How did I not see these? All right, well, I actually do like these. So we have from @Baza6545. They ask, favorite trashy anime, but they specify no era manga posting. You've already convinced us of its greatness. Damn right.
Yes, he already knows, dude.
Favorite trashy anime. Well, I can say favorite trashy manga is Matsusehi no Slave easily. But
You say it's actually good.
it's good, but I mean, I don't know what they're specifying as trash. If they're talking about like ecchi, which I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Well, it could be like a guilty pleasure type of show.
Well, trashy, I mean, either bad or like like ecchi or like something that's would be considered degenerate. That's what I would deem trashy. I guess guilty pleasure though.
Interspecies reviewers.
You're
It's
the
a
only
fantastic
one.
one. Yep, that one's pretty great.
Oh, I guess I got a trashy one. I mean, this show is just just not good objectively. But I had the time of my life watching it every single week, and texting JV and how much I want to fuck the main character. But it was Setsun Academy Join the Pack. Just I don't know how to describe it, man. It's so weird. It's just a bunch of animal girls, and then the dudes look like animals. I've explained this premise before on the pod, but it's a very weird show. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what I got myself into watching it, and I somehow watched all of it. So it's very trashy, but I liked it.
I think I don't have enough trashy shows on my list. I need to start pumping that list up.
Yes, watch more trash.
So you haven't
need
seen
to
any
watch more
ecchi?
trash. Ecchi, not recently. I think I do have for this summer season. I think I have one planned. But I think the last ecchi I watched was Magical Senpai.
That was a goated show. I loved it.
That was a goated show, but I mean, it just shows you how long it's been since I've watched it. I've watched any in that genre.
I mean, if that's your
Sounds
answer.
like you're slacking.
I mean, if that's your answer,
I am
you can
slacking.
have it be your answer.
Oh, dude, My Sister, My Writer is a goated show, especially the OVA.
Oh, what, did you like it? I mean, I think we only like the experience of laughing at it.
It's the experience of laughing at it, alright? Doesn't mean the show's good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it was such a funny thing because you would have a freaking frame, right? A whole like little scene where the sister is suddenly 7 feet 5 inches tall, and you don't know why. And then the next frame, she's actually just short again. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's super consistent, but I loved it.
It's so inconsistent. And just to let you know, there is uncensored. Actually, this will actually be my latest ecchi. My
What?
sister Maruti, because this
Oh, okay.
my sister Maruti. That would be the latest ecchi, and then it'll go Magical Senpai.
Well,
Yeah,
those are,
I mean,
those are
Yeah.
trashy ones, I guess.
those are
Well,
pretty trash. I enjoyed it.
Fits the category.
I enjoyed it, not because it was good, because of how bad it was. Because I still gotta watch the rest of XR. Because I will watch the rest of it. All right, I will watch the rest of it. I don't know when, but I will watch it.
well, Baza looked like they're on a roll here because they're asking some really good questions. They ask best underrated anime. Punchline.
Ooh, underrated.
Yep, locked to my answer. Punchline.
My roommate is a cat.
Yes.
I think it's because it
Very
was
Yeah.
it was in such a disgusting season that it got kind of forgotten, but it was still a fantastic show.
I can throw in another one here. I mean, it's a part of the most like popular franchise out there, but I mean, Steins Gate Zero. I think people overlook that very heavily.
Oh yeah, a lot of people don't even know about Steins Gate Zero.
Well, and if they've seen it, they just hate it. They're like, "Oh, it's pointless because Steins Gate exists." And I'm like, no, that just means you didn't pay attention.
Bochi, Hitori Bochi,
Yeah.
is a really cute show.
Yeah.
It was a really cute show because I think it was airing in the same time as Attack on Titan season 3 part 2.
It was, yeah. Love Bochi.
Oh, I don't even think because this is a very new show, but I see it getting a lot of awards on Reddit. But I don't see a lot of people talking about it. Vivi Fluorite Eye Song. It's made
I've
by
been
the
seeing everybody
same-
talk about it.
Well, I'm not on Twitter, but I just talk about it like for a bit because I did binge it all pretty much one day. It's a fantastic show. It's my anime of the season. Like easily. It overtook everything.
But what have you to say when Nagatero's airing?
It's the same author as ReZero.
Really? Are you sure? I
With
don't.
with Studio doing it. That's all I really gotta say.
Well, for mine, I guess I'm gonna throw out Cells at Work Code Black. Actually, genuinely enjoyed that one. I haven't watched through the anime yet, but obviously I haven't heard anybody talking about it. Been meaning to watch it, just like all the other ones that I'm behind on. But I have read it, and it was educational, fun. There's tits in it. It's great. Just go check it out.
Just side tangent on the Vivi thing. If I had known that he was the one that made Vivi, I would have watched it a long time ago. I'll probably watch it soon.
It's finished. Yeah, it finished. It ended.
Yesterday, yeah.
It ended the way it really needed to end. There was no questions unanswered, and I love that.
Definitely give it a shot
Oh,
whenever I get the chance.
Episode 1, it literally hooked me in, and I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah, I got my other
think
seasonals to get through first, but I'll get to it.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll keep reminding you. All right, don't worry.
But we have another question from Baza. Again, they're on fire right now. What's the most cringe anime fandom?
It's
I know.
debatable right now between My Hero right now and Dragon Ball.
I know this is cheating. I just want to shit on Genshin real quick. The Genshin Impact fandom is the worst fandom of all time. I have never seen a worse fandom than them.
Okay,
They
to be fair though,
are
That is
awful.
true.
to be fair, it's kind of intertwined with K-pop fans.
Yeah, it's somehow, and I'm aware that
They
this
merged.
is mostly
They
only
merged.
this is almost only exclusive to Twitter and to an extent TikTok. They've Reddit, Facebook, yeah, like all the other fandoms of Genshin are fine. Unlike like My Hero, where it's bad everywhere, or Demon Slayer, where it's bad everywhere, it's just relegated to Twitter mostly for Genshin because that's where all of the K-pop fans are. It's awful for them. it's a good game that somehow got like invaded by people that you wouldn't expect to play games that complain about games, and it's frustrating.
It is frustrating. But the jeans swimsuit summer outfit is still banging. That's all I gotta say.
Still very banging.
Still very banging. Still don't have the character. I'm just still mad. I have Eula, but I don't have Jean.
But I mean, if I were to say most cringe, it would be. But I mean, it's a toss up between My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, believe it or not, and Demon Slayer for me probably. And all for different reasons. Demon Slayer is just because it's a bunch of people that have only seen Demon Slayer talk about how it's the greatest anime ever. Jujutsu Kaisen, kind of same reason as Genshin. It's a lot of K-pop fans and like people just obsessing over. Which nothing wrong with waifu husbando things, but that's the only thing people talk about with the Jujutsu Kaisen. And it's just like TikTok fan cams. They just like destroy the characters. It's just so weird. Like there's a bunch of Gojo like edits of him just like with extremely long nails, or like him eating like Cheetos and stuff. I'm like, what, dude? What? It's like this is so weird edit to do, and a lot of people like being toxic, or like gatekeeping the characters, and it's just weird. And My Hero, don't even have to explain why.
They got mad over a Hawk's frame. I still remember that vivid.
Actually, I do remember. I just saw a thing today of them complaining about how Shigaraki looks compared to the manga cover. So yeah, definitely My Hero.
Yeah.
Definitely My Hero.
Like, come on, dude. Like, it still looked great. That still looked so good.
Yeah, so, they all bitch about everything. So, even though we were bitching about My Hero today, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful or hypocritical. It's just still complain about things that don't need to be complained about. Like, really, you're gonna complain about a frame of Shigaraki that looks exactly like the manga cover, just from a different angle. So,
which I think it actually looked.
Yeah,
it looked great.
It's on par. It's on par, in my opinion, because it's also moving because you get 2 shots. So I thought it was great.
Yeah, I don't know if you have a very different answer than us.
I kind of want to reverse this. What do you think is the best fandom?
If I can cheat, I'll say Unicamp. And
I'm not talking about Gintama fans, all right? There's only like 7 of us, and we all hate the show.
You always say that, but Gintama is one of the most popular things on Twitter and Reddit. So.
I know, but I mean, we all hate the show.
Yeah, I mean, shit talk. That is the one thing I love about the Gintama fandom. Is just like if you see genuine hate or like shit talking towards the show, fans will jump in on the hate regardless if the person is being serious or not. And it's just fun. It's just like they'll take the piss out of the criticism because they're like, yeah, our show sucks. What are you gonna do about it?
It's like it's a win-win. It's a win-win for us. We literally can't lose.
It's like they're like, yeah, we know our show's dog shit and the jokes are repeated and Sodachi can't write. What about it? And you're like, oh, okay, I guess they know. Well,
that's actually funny. When I was first on Twitter, I just saw that. I saw Gintama was the actual shittiest show on earth. Yeah, I click on their profile. It's just Gintama number one, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 show.
That's my favorite things to do. I mean, I talk shit about Unicamp all the time on Twitter as a joke. But and again, if I want to cheat, I will say Unicamp, and that's because I haven't seen any controversy from it. Well, I mean, why would you? Everybody's just chill. They just talk about camping and how you find the girls cute. There's no waifu wars or anything like that. But if I can give a legitimate answer, and this might shock people, I think Chainsaw Man has one of the coolest fan bases out there. They're like one of the most
until the anime comes out.
I think it'll be fine even when the anime like I'm worried about like the people like that I'm not going to consider fans, like trying to cancel the characters and stuff, or complain about Denji being a perv. But like regardless, I like the fandom now because it's so massive and it's one of the most talented fan bases I've ever seen. Like there's so many cool fan animations. They're doing fan openings. There's so much fan art, so much cosplays, just so much coloring, so much fan fictions, which I mean like good in the good kind of way where they're doing like alternate endings or like 0.5 chapters. It's just really cool. Like I've never seen a more dedicated fan base than this. And then I mean people hate the barking joke. I don't really see it. I would take that over like an actual toxic thing. People do get mad when they see like Makima cosplays and then you see barking under it. It's just like I mean it's a dumb joke. It's not harming anybody, so that's like, and if that's the worst aspect of the fan base, I think it's a pretty good fan base.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. If that's the worst thing that they do, and it's pretty much a joke. So,
yeah, it's like if the worst aspect of your fan base is just doing an overused joke, then you know that I say your fan base is in good hands.
I'll put Black Clover because we're just appreciative of whatever we get.
Black Clover's fan base
It's
is not
true.
good, but
If you're talking about the anime side, all right. If you're talking about the manga side, that's a different story. It's a way different story.
well, I think those were all good questions. Let me see if there was other ones real quick, because all the other ones we've gotten today are just joke questions, which doesn't shock me.
Not at all.
Not at all. Oh, did you give a fan base tell, actually?
I don't think Tell knows fan bases.
Yeah, I'm not too big on the fan bases, so I wouldn't be able to give too much input anyway. I don't really jump on and talk with other people about anime that like I've watched and enjoyed or anything except for y'all two. So
I mean, I don't really talk on Twitter at all. I'm on Discord. I'm trying to get more on Discord, but I've been just on my PlayStation most of the time or working.
yeah,
So the life is killing me.
adult life.
Adult life over here. And to be fair, we are going to get bonus episodes, right? We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it this month. We still have a week left.
At some point, it'll happen.
Yes, we will do it.
happen.
We don't even know, but we'll do it.
Yeah.
We should just do a drunk.
Well, I mean,
Drunk
funny you asked that. One of the questions came from LOL Weeb, aka Thomas. We've answered his questions, I think, like the last 3 weeks. So you better be appreciative, Thomas.
We appreciate the interaction, Thomas. We appreciate it.
We do.
But yeah, it's drunk episode. When Jake can join us, I guess he can, or me and Tel can do a drinking game, and Jake's the host or something. Who knows? We'll figure that out.
We have a Patreon for a reason.
Oh
you know?
God.
Yeah, it's not off the table. Yeah, and also I just realized we should probably do like Patreon like question things, so we can answer their questions first. So I mean that's something we can look into, but
Yeah, we could.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do a trivia drinking game.
yeah, Jake can quiz
Jake's
us.
the host.
I will be the
Quiz
host.
us.
I mean, there's
I
a
will
vast
do that.
difference. I mean, no offense, but like, there's a
Oh yeah,
there's a
no,
vast
I
difference
get
between
destroyed,
them.
but
Yeah.
like I can handle more drinks. I'm pretty sure. So
I
mean,
want to
that's
make sure
fair.
they.
I mean,
all
instead of just
cater
gonna be you.
towards-
I mean, not even getting drunk. You're gonna be like slamming down like 8 beers. Like, all right, keep them coming, and then keep getting them wrong on purpose, just so you can keep slamming them down.
and you're saying that's not entertaining?
I mean, I guess that's
very
entertaining. Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah.
How long until Tel feels slightly drunk? Put your question
Yeah.
below. Please donate to our Patreon or Ko-Fi.
Yeah. I'll send out my Venmo if you want to buy me a drink.
And I think with that note, the time's looking nay, and I think it's time for us to wrap up.
Yeah,
Sun's getting real low, big guy.
Yeah, we can go into our final segment like usual. Again, as usual, I have actual things that I've watched and read this week. But what have you boys watched and read?
I actually did watch and read a little bit of stuff this week. I had to go on a plane, and I needed something to watch, so I went on Netflix and was like, okay, what's something on here that I actually want to watch and haven't yet? And I finally watched Parasite for the first time. And I really enjoyed Parasite. It was pretty good. I was drunk for watching a lot of it in the hotel room because I couldn't figure out how to work the TV. But I watched Parasite, and then when I got back on the flight back, I had to watch something else. So that's when I watched Record of Ragnarok, as we talked earlier. I watched both of those shows all the way through. And then once I got back to my hotel room that I have all my stuff at, I finished the second deluxe volume of Berserk, and now I just have the third to go through, and I'll need to go by number 4.
Tel's actually doing something.
Yeah, I actually have made progress, and I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, and this last week has definitely helped a lot with that. So hopefully I continue with it and keep swinging forward and catch up on a lot of shit.
All right. Side note, I still hate how I cannot see the Gintama the final. Just want to let all y'all know that.
I would like to
I
point
still
out
hate
they have made an update today, I think, just talking about the Blu-ray and the final, and hoping that that's maybe a sign that they'll get it to the West soon. All they said was he's like, Gintama had ended 2 years ago because they showed the volume cover, but he's like, it still feels like it's going on today. We still have the releases to look forward to. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, hopefully that signifies a West release, maybe sometime in the winter this year.
Hopefully soon. I want it before my birthday.
That's being very optimistic, but I mean,
that's
hopefully.
very being optimistic. But we already know the Blu-rays are coming out in August, I think.
Yeah.
So the high season finding the One Piece, we could look at it there, which I probably will do. But I will have my whole thing set up to where it feels like a movie theater. So we'll see. But anyways, I watched all of Vivi to. I got home from work, took a shower, and I just pulled up Vivi episode 1, and I went all the way to episode 12. I had to wait 2 days until the episode 13 came out. Generally enjoyed it. It was a night in my anime, my fire again. So I'll probably be watching a lot more this coming week. And then I also watched Josie, the Tiger and the Fish. I think that was what it's called.
Yeah, everybody's been watching that. Is that a new movie or something?
Yeah, it's a new movie. It's a romance. I pretty enjoyed it.
Isn't she like in a wheelchair or something?
She is in a wheelchair.
Hell yeah!
And the things you can think about, that's all you gotta know.
Look, we welcome everybody of all types here. That's all I'm saying. So we're allowed to say this.
I mean, I have. H6 is about to be done, so I'm about to binge the rest of it. I think I'm on episode 4 right now, so I'm going to binge the rest of it because I like the slow shows, but this was just a bit too slow for me to watch on a week-to-week basis. So hopefully right now I'll finish it and I'll give some sort of a review in the coming future. But yeah, I'm caught up on all seasonals right now that I'm with right now. No manga for me.
You guys actually did way more than I did because all I did was catch up on Undead Unluck. It was very fun. I enjoyed it. I binged My Hero today, but it was only like 20 chapters that I was behind on. And then I watched my seasonals, which was Nagatoro. So that's really it for me. I'm still going to continue reading manga this week. I'll have other things updated. And maybe I'll have Godzilla and Megalobox watch this week, but no promises.
That's right. I'm behind on Godzilla. I think I'm 2 episodes behind.
Or Super Cub because the final episode comes out. Yeah, so I'll binge the Super Cub too, most likely. So I should have more anime here soon. I know I haven't been very vocal about anime recently, and that's just because I haven't been watching much aside from My Hero, obviously, and Nagatoro. Other than that, this last season I haven't been watching shit, so I'll get back into the groove again. I can contribute with more anime topics, at least recent anime. But yeah, well, it's been the show.
Anything you have to say, Tal? Oh wait, before we do that,
I was about to say that.
Well,
Yeah,
I was
sorry.
waiting for a wonderful segue like you usually give me, Jake.
I
but-
was sorry, dude. I thought I had a great idea, but I don't really. But we do have great people supporting our show.
Yes, we do have great, wonderful people that support us over on patreon.com/AskCast. If you guys want to be a beautiful person like Fanner, Corbin, Hadrian, Outdated, and our new patron today, thank you for joining us, M4 Blitz. If you want to be like them, we'll love you guys to death. We'll send you, I don't think we can say this, we'll send you heart messages, actually. I'll say that instead, and DMs on Patreon. And if you want those, you can head on over to patreon.com/AskCast. Remember, there's a $2 tier, $5 tier, and $10 tier. 5 and 10 get you access to bonus episodes and whatever more other things we add later on. $2 tier is just a way to support us, and you get a special role on Discord. And yeah, but again, it's ever evolving. We're going to be adding more things. We should have bonuses up by next week, at least 2 this month, because we owe that to you guys. And reminder, we do also have a coffee.com/AskCast. that's just a way to support us, donate to us, and we'll figure something out for that too. Obviously, I don't think we have the money or time to make merch, so we can't have things like that, but we'll figure some cool things out to do.
Like, if on Ko-Fi we reach $60, we do have a Kazu twerk video.
It's actually $50, but
whatever, dude. I checked it like 2 days ago. We do have a new twerk video in the works if we do get there.
Well, again, thank you guys so much for being patrons. If you don't want to throw some cash at us to support us, the other and probably the best way to support us is to listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube, all at Anime Safe Space. We're also on Twitter at Anime Safe Space. You can feel free to DM us, tweet at us, give us suggestions, questions. If you just want to shoot the shit, we're always welcome to do so. And if you want to shoot the shit in another place, you can head on over to the Discord down in the link below. If you want to talk to other ass fans, we do AMQ nights, game nights, and it's just a good way to interact with the community and interact with us. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That is pretty much it. I was going to fart to end off the episode, but the fart went away.